Welcome back to the Law Show. I am America's personal injury attorney, Brian Dailey, founder of the Dailey Law Firm, PC. We've got offices all across the nation, and I am host of the Law Show, heard every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. on the Law Show Network. And I'm broadcasting live from the Law Show studios, answering all your legal questions right now at 855-529-7469. That's 855-LAW-SHOW. You can also email your questions to questions@thelawshow.com or Brian, B-R-I-A-N, at thelawshow.com. And you can text your questions to keyword Law Show at 46786. There's really, it's not possible for you not to be able to get in touch with us. The phone that I have, 855-529-7469, that's 855-LAW-SHOW, it rings 24/7, and when I'm not broadcasting and I'm not during regular business hours, and that goes directly to my cell phone. And you know what? That says a lot about my lovely wife, Jill. She's an awesome lady because she never, ever complains about me answering the phone whenever, and I've often answered the phone on holidays and other incidents because I know that your issues are important. When somebody's calling me at 11 o'clock at night on that phone line, that means that there's something out of whack, and I need to help them. And so I'm encouraging you to do that. I wondered where those angel wings were. That must be the signal that our lovely wife Jill, my lovely wife Jill, is in and about. Anyway, thank you, my lovely wife Jill, and all of our listeners. I want to also special thanks to our new Law Show station, FM News Talk 97.1 in St. Louis. Thanks to Program Director Jeff Allen, Station Representative Andrew Davis, and our engineer today in St. Louis, Eric Robert. I really appreciate the opportunity you've given me to help all of the listeners down in the St. Louis listening area, and I'm going to do a great job for you, as always. I'm Attorney Brian Dailey, answering all your legal questions. We're going to go back and talk to Stephen because we've got some unanswered questions. Remember, Stephen is our caller who on February 4th went to a protection hearing and was told by the judge he can't see his kids for 2 years. I once heard about a judge who sentenced a man for taking a tape recorder in court to 75 years for that violation alone. Obviously, that was overturned, but sometimes the punishment doesn't fit the crime. So, Stephen, are you still with us?
I am.
Tell us what it was alleged to have taken place that caused this judge to go off on a wild hare and prevent you from seeing your kids for 2 years.
Mid-month in December, I had an argument with my son over the phone, and he's an adult. He came down to my apartment to continue the conversation. There was words said on both sides.
Yep.
And I asked him to leave the apartment, and I walked him to the door, opened the door. He turned around, and he slugged me, gave me a black eye, closed my eye. I got a scar under my eye right now. The next day, my wife went to the court
your ex-wife.
that I was in.
It was your wife?
On the 4th. Pardon me?
Your wife.
My wife went to the court and filed the order of protection on the next day. The following week, I was served with the order of protection, and on the next day, I heard my dog barking. So I went upstairs to the apartment. I had keys up there like they have keys to my place, and I took the dog into my apartment. And then a half an hour later, I had 4 cops at my door with my daughter, and I was arrested for dog napping.
Okay, so this is obviously something that's way out of whack and way out of control, and I'm going to guess that you haven't hired a lawyer yet.
I have not.
Okay, and that's probably why you're having all the trouble that you're having, because a lawyer would know how to navigate through all of this stuff. Now, how old was your son when he punched you?
18.
Okay. I don't get what happened. I don't understand it, except that all we can say is that when you try to represent yourself and you don't get a lawyer, you're just asking for trouble, because the judge is only going to do based upon what they see. And if you don't bring in the countervailing argument, then you've got nothing to say, and they're going to ignore you, which is obviously what happened here.
I brought in the argument that, I explained the situation to the judge, and then I told the judge, I asked my 2 daughters showed up with my wife, and I asked them, have I ever hit you or struck you? And they said no. And then I said, have you ever hit me or struck me? And they said, yes.
But listen, that's
So
not,
I'm not
that,
a violent.
that's really not the issue here, okay? So the kids obviously are spending more time with your wife than they're spending with you. And so there's probably some measure of parental alienation going on. She's feeding them all kinds of junk that they're using to turn against you. I see it all the time. I see it where parents will take advantage of the youth and indiscretion of young kids and even teenagers. They're still kids. They're still dumb kids. They make dumb decisions. And they need to be stewarded and parented, and they need to be influenced in the proper way. And I'm not saying your wife is doing this, but it sounds like there's something going on there. And the problem is that you didn't hire a lawyer. Now, I hate to put in a shameless plug for always hiring a lawyer. You don't always need to hire a lawyer. But guess what, Stephen? You needed a lawyer, and now you got hosed. So let's get you into a lawyer right away. Okay? Did you give Tyler your phone number?
I did give him my phone number.
Okay, I'm going to have somebody get in touch with you right away today, okay? And we'll talk a little bit more about this, okay?
I appreciate you. And you can get me after like 12:30.
Okay, we'll call you. Thanks for calling the Law Show. We're going to continue answering all your legal questions at 855-529-7469. That's 855-LAW SHOW. Sounds to me like the only wrong thing Stephen did was not hire a lawyer in time. And I'm telling you, if you walk into a courtroom without a lawyer, then the only thing that can be said is he who represents himself has a fool for a client and a jerk for a lawyer. Don't ever do that, especially when these issues are so critical. If you've got a legal question, call me right now at 855-529-7469. That's 855-LAW SHOW. We're going to talk to Christine. Christine, you're on the Law Show.
Yes. This is her husband.
Oh, hi.
Hi. My wife had the surgery about a year ago, and she had a problem afterwards since she had a damage to the vagus nerve.
Okay.
And what we're trying to do is to find out if there's anything she can do right now.
What is the surgery that was?
Illegal.
What is the surgery that was being performed?
She had a brain surgery.
Okay. And what are the residual problems that she's having now as a result of the damage to the vagus nerve?
She's got problems swallowing,
Okay.
breathing, all kinds of problems.
Okay. Here's the way medical malpractice works. We are not entitled to the best medical care ever anywhere. We're entitled to average medical care. And what that really means is, in order to have a medical malpractice suit, we have to be able to find a doctor who will say that the care that was provided, in this case, the brain surgery and the way it was done and how it was done, fell below the standard of care, which means the average manner in which surgeons would carry out this brain surgery. So the first thing we do is we get all of your medical records and we send them off to an expert to take a look at it and tell us whether or not there is malpractice. Did the doctor fall below the standard of care in performing the brain surgery on your wife? Okay? Once we determine that we have a doctor who's willing to testify to that, then we go through the process of figuring out what your damages are, and we then send it off to the insurance company representing the doctor and the hospital where this took place, and we try to enter into a negotiation. But, you know, doctors and hospitals often play hardball because they think that they do no wrong. They've got huge egos, probably almost as big as most lawyers. And I can say that because I speak from experience. So what I'm saying is we got to start with getting your wife's medical records. A little late there, Dave. Thanks. Good try. Okay. So why did your wife have the surgery to begin with?
That may be an issue because this was done about a year ago.
Well, first of all, what state are you calling from?
I'm calling from Illinois, but the surgery was performed in California.
Oh, I'm not sure what the statute of limitations in California is, and you're going to need a California lawyer. Did you give Tyler your phone number?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to call you back after the show, and we'll talk about it. I'll give you a little bit more information, okay? Thanks for calling the Law Show. We're going to continue answering all your legal questions at 855-529-7469, but not until after these few important messages. Remember, we still have plenty of time. When we go off the air from the radio stations, we're going to continue the Law Show Extra, where I will stay here in studio and answer the questions that are left over, and I will answer questions that come in. It usually lasts about half an hour, maybe an hour. Sometimes it goes up to 2. But I'm here, and if I'm off the air when you have time to call 855-LAW-SHOW, just call it anyway, and I'll answer the phone. I promise, you'll see. I'm Brian Dailey. I'm America's personal injury attorney. I'm broadcasting live from high atop the Law Show studios, and I am answering all your legal questions on the Law Show, and I'm going to continue doing it for the rest of my life. Call us now at 855-529-7469, and I'll answer questions after these few short messages. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.